Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Point Blank. I'm Riley Mannion, and guys, I'm so excited. Do you want to know why? Because Corinna is back. Welcome back, Corinna.
I'm so excited.
It's been a minute. Excited to have you back. How are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better.
Good.
If you guys didn't know, I did test positive for COVID-19, but I'm clear now. I'm still lingering symptoms, but I'm feeling great right now. I know. Where's the mask? Where's the mask? But it's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Good.
Yeah, we missed you.
Yes, we are very excited to have you back. We've been waiting for this. We've loved our guest hosts.
Of course. I watched it. I love them too.
Yes.
They should join us again.
Yes, maybe sometime they will. But it's amazing to have you back.
Thank you.
So we're going to kick things off with some big news. R. Kelly has officially been convicted for racketeering and sex trafficking and will face life in prison. One of the attorneys said today's guilty verdict forever brands R. Kelly as a predator who used his fame and fortune to prey off the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless for his own sexual gratification. I think it is about time that this has happened. He has been in the news for his sexual allegations against all of these young women for so long.
It's been going on for decades.
Yeah,
Literally.
and so I think it's finally about time that he gets the sentence that he deserves.
And I remember the first time when it kind of brought news to the media, all the streaming platforms, every one of his songs went up. And I was like, wait a minute, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But since he literally convicted as guilty and going to jail for life, as he should.
As he should.
His streaming has went down 330 million.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
I had no idea.
Lot, yeah.
That is a lot of streams.
I know. So.
Wow. I just expect even though he obviously committed this horrible crime, whenever something like that happens to somebody who's big, I feel like whatever they're doing, like acting, singing, their music, their shows, always increase in viewership just because of the fact that they're in the news. So you would expect it to be, okay, well, let me listen to what this guy's about, or let me see what this girl's about. But the fact that it dropped that much is insane to me.
Are you even relevant at this point?
Yeah. Did you guys watch any of the footage from the trials or anything like that?
I didn't, only because what he did was just disgusting, and I personally just couldn't sit through it. But I did read in the headlines, and I read articles about it, and then the whole documentary that was put out against them. Everyone that I knew or know actually watched it, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
It just.
Yeah. What about you?
I did not, but it's terrifying. Like you said, to watch that and be like, what's even gonna happen? Anyone's stomach is turning watching something like that.
Yeah. I got to watch a few clips of just reactions and news coverages, covering the story, and just to hear like I said what the attorney said, and then the judge residing over the case said that he was one of the most disgusting people that she's ever had to convict, and that she's never seen anybody worse than him when it comes to sex trafficking and any sex crimes like that. So the fact that this guy who is in the public eye and is such a public figure has been doing all of this stuff behind the scenes that took a while to come out, and now these people are finally coming out telling their stories, and he's finally getting the conviction that he deserves. I think is rewarding for them, because he's finally, I just think that when you finally see, I've been saying finally a lot, but I mean, it means it's about time that anything has happened with him, because it took so long. But to see the person being convicted of the crime that they committed against you must be such a weight off your shoulders.
Exactly.
Because you still have to carry that weight with you your whole life.
Every single day.
Every single day. He gave a lot of them STDs because he was positive for an STD and didn't tell them and didn't have protected sex with them. So not only do they have to carry this guilt of the mental pain that he gave them.
It's a physical reminder.
But it's a physical reminder of what he did to them.
Yeah, and not for anything, but being a victim and watching someone, when you're in the public eye like that, you're almost always a role model to somebody. To have him in the light of what he finally deserves to be in, it's you can no longer have this attention, you can no longer be a role model. And that's really powerful too.
Yeah, I agree. All I can say, if we wrap this up in one word, finally. Finally,
Yeah, finally.
The
Finally,
word of the
he
night, and it
gets-
fits.
Finally,
Yes.
it really does.
he gets what he deserves. In jail for life.
I'm speechless.
Yes.
Disgusting.
But moving on, Riverdale eye candy KJ Apa and model Clara Berry welcomed their baby boy Sasha into the world on September 23rd, and they could not be happier. I'm so happy for them, but also like, okay, I know I never had a chance with KJ Apa, but like, eye candy is like the perfect
Chef's
word
kiss.
because he's like, oh,
He's beautiful.
He's beautiful. So, but he has a kid now. Like
I still I knew it was coming. I didn't see it coming. Like I still didn't see it coming somehow.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, the baby's born, and I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Let me backtrack on what I think here. Like, what's going on?
It's just crazy to me that these people that we watch in shows that like are directed towards our generation and our age, who play teenagers, like he plays like a sophomore in high school in the
Yeah.
show, is having a baby. Like I see him as somebody who's like 20 years old.
I know.
Like single, like going off and like doing his thing in his 20s. No, he's literally married and has a kid.
I just see. I'm not a big fan of Riverdale. Well, I've never really got into it, but like you said, he's eye candy. So
Yeah.
of course, I had to see him.
Yeah. I've seen him
But
somewhere.
it's like everyone's pregnant now.
Everyone's pregnant.
And I was like, okay. I wasn't surprised because I didn't know much about them.
Yeah.
But like reading about his fan base, they were surprised too. So.
Yeah. I didn't even know that I have no idea how long that he's been together with his wife. I don't know if he ever dated Veronica Lodge or Camila Mendez. Is that her name?
Yeah, Veronica Lodge is her character.
Yeah, Camila Mendez. I don't know if they ever.
A little hung
Yeah.
up.
I don't think they ever actually dated in real life, but I feel like they did. Like in my head, I just picture them as dating. But I guess in a lot of shows like Outer Banks, like the two main characters who are dating in the show
Well,
are dating in real life.
Cody. Now I'm mixing up names.
What's it? Dylan
Don't ask
Sprouse.
me.
Wait,
Don't
what's
ask
it?
me.
Wait, it's
Cody
not
Sprouse?
Cody.
No,
It's the twins from Sweet
What is
Life.
his
Dylan
name?
Cole.
This is awkward, guys.
Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart dated.
Yeah, maybe that's what
So
I'm thinking of.
that might be why.
Yeah,
They did date, right?
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I don't
they
know
did.
what's real anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't
We
even
get
think
so
Nothing
fixated
real.
on like TV shows where we assume that
Yeah.
they're dating, but they're not.
Archie has a kid.
it's
Oh
like,
my god.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm happy for them. It's just insane to me that he has a kid now. When I didn't even hear about their pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But happy for them.
Yep.
Congrats, guys.
If you're watching.
Yeah.
if you're watching, you should.
Dancing with the Stars had their first elimination of the season. Cobra Kai star Martin Kove got the boot. It also saw a virtual performance as Cody Rigsby's pro Cheryl Burke tested positive for COVID-19 just one day before the live show, forcing them to quarantine and be judged based off of their rehearsal footage. I want to talk about this first because we could talk about Martin a little bit later. Cheryl tested positive one day before the live show. I cannot imagine going into the testing area, thinking that you're going to be negative, just like everybody else, just like you have been for the past month, basically, and you get the result and you're positive one day before you're about to perform live.
This sounds way too familiar.
She's like,
Yeah,
it hits pretty close to home.
No, it really did because when I tell you, not that I'm on Dancing with the Stars, even though
Yeah.
want me to be
Yeah.
on, definitely could do it.
Hit her
But when I was sick and I was like, it's a sinus infection. When I tell you, my mouth dropped and I was like, oh my goodness. I can only imagine what she felt like because, they have routine testing and all these protocols and then boom. And it's just like,
She's out.
Yeah, and she's a huge responsibility for her partner.
exactly. It's
Like-
not like a one-man
Yeah,
show.
and it's in no way her fault.
No.
It's not like hold her accountable, but to her, it is her fault.
Yeah.
And you could see it in her face when she was doing the Zoom call in and they were like, how are you doing? What's going on? She was like, she took the video in her car. It looked like she had just gotten her test results.
Yeah.
She was emotional. She was like, I feel so bad for Cody. I can't imagine how, it's already scary. It's already oh my gosh, this whole thing, first of all, you have no idea how it's going to affect you. You have
don't.
no idea how it's going to affect people you've been in contact with.
Yeah.
And now she has this weight of, this is my partner's life right now.
Yeah.
His life, when you're on Dancing with the Stars, I haven't been on, again, sign me up if you
Yeah,
want, but that must be your life.
It's all you do.
You're in
rehearse
rehearsal every day.
single
You
day.
want the win. You're so excited. It would be my life
Yeah.
if I got on.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And I mean, we'll all be on there sometime.
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
We're speaking it into existence because
exactly.
it's going to happen.
Manifestation.
As we should.
But anyway, I think she like has that internal guilt no matter what anybody says. Like, it's not your fault, don't worry. Cody, I'm sure, was like, please don't take this, like, don't make this your fault. It's not your fault. But you always are gonna have that internal guilt. But I wanna talk about the performance. They were judged based off of a rehearsal video from a week prior to the show. I think they got 3 6s, which is the same score they got last week. I think that it was so unfair for them to judge based off of that rehearsal video. Not saying they shouldn't have, because they didn't really have another option. But that was a week-old dance, and they're comparing it to everybody else who had another week to rehearse. It wasn't in the ballroom. They weren't in costumes. There wasn't lights. Like, there was none of that.
No effects.
So that adds a whole nother layer to the dance that they did not have. Cody and Cheryl were not expecting that rehearsal to be judged. So even if they are giving it their all, Cody was like making faces when he messed up, like he made like a, oh shoot kind of face.
Yeah.
Which like I would do too if I'm rehearsing, not thinking that's gonna be on air or being judged. But then you get to the judges panel and they're like, well, we have to judge everybody based off of the same criteria, which, okay, makes sense. But you also have to take in like the idea that this was a week old. He didn't get an extra week like everybody else did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's not putting in the same energy he would on performance night.
Yeah, and they acknowledged that too. And yes, like, oh, we have to judge everyone on the same criteria, but they're not.
No.
Because they said to
not even
JoJo,
close.
they were like, you're a dancer, we're judging you harder. So if you're gonna judge someone harder because they have dance experience for like Amanda Klutz or JoJo Siwa, you can also give someone some leeway.
Yeah.
Or a
When
pass.
it's
like,
from a week before. That's a while. First of all, he did very good.
He did so good.
For a week before the show. Do you know how much practice time is in between that?
Yeah.
Like probably the hours that someone spends on a full-time 9-to-5 job.
Well, just think if that's 1 week before the show, that means it was basically the day after the last week's show, which is like the same day he learned it.
that's
So the fact that he got 3 6s, which was one of the bottom scores of the week, was not the bottom, which I think was incredible because it's judged basically off of like 2 days of dancing. I just don't think that it's fair, and I think the judges should have taken that into account when
I
they
agree.
decided
Yeah.
what scores to give him.
Yeah.
If they were to be like, okay, this dance, the one I watched right now got a 6, but we know how he is. We know that the ballroom will emphasize parts of the dance that you cannot emphasize in rehearsal. Give him a 7.
It's also not the make or break. Like, it's not like they're like, we're about to give him the highest score of the night if we give him a
Yeah.
score we think is fair. He would be like in the middle. And like, honestly, I thought he deserved at least a 7 just from that. Like, just from his rehearsal dance,
Yeah.
regardless of like, oh, this is a week, like taking all that stuff into consideration, I was like, I would have thrown a 7 in there.
Yeah.
They were pretty harsh though.
and like if you're trying to be fair, give them the same score as when they were together,
Yeah.
or give them a pass. Like COVID, you can't avoid it. Like
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, it's
Life
not like
will
he was gonna go
on,
home
yeah.
anyway.
Exactly. So that makes no sense to
No,
me.
he was not going home because Martin, we all knew he was going home. We knew based off of the moment he stepped on the dance floor, week 1, okay.
You reminded me of Nelly from last season.
Yeah, but Nelly made it to top 4.
I know, but he
Yeah.
shouldn't have. But
He
it's just
shouldn't
his
have.
attitude. I don't know.
Yeah,
They
the
remind me
difference
of each
is
other.
we knew Martin wasn't gonna have the
Yeah.
votes. Like there was nothing that was giving him
Gonna
the
stop.
votes.
Yeah. But I also have never seen such low scores. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And it's just started.
threes.
Like,
Threes on
Threes.
two.
He got
That's
threes.
embarrassing.
I
mean,
thought
like,
Lem
feel
was
like
gonna
we could
pull out
all
a
do
two.
better than this. Like I feel like we
Oh my God, I could do better than that with my eyes closed
Exactly,
on my
like,
hands.
Right now with no
Right
preparation.
now. I'll get,
No.
like, I will do it. Don't tease me. But I just think that I know he didn't expect to go far. Like he probably knew
Yeah.
he was going to be first, but he was just out there to have fun. But like, oh my God, if you, like that's what you're putting on, like you might as well have not even competed.
yeah, just don't show up.
He didn't move. He did like, and that was his dance. Like 3. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I don't even have words for how bad it was.
If I was him, I would take dance classes after that because
Yeah, it's like a shame.
yeah, it really is. Like at least have some, like just a little bit, like once, two, like something.
Yeah, at least some
Don't
groove.
be so stiff. Like come
Literally.
on.
We should get out there.
Yeah, we're
we
going.
won't be the
We're
stars. We'll
gonna-
be the pros.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
As we
let's
should.
do it. So do you guys? Christine was in the bottom this week.
I was shocked.
I was shocked
Yeah.
too. I think it's the votes. I don't think she has the votes.
I think it's the votes because you know what? I Who was it left? It was Christine, Brian, and Laura?
No,
No.
Laura was safe.
Was it Kenya?
Kenya. It
Kenya.
was
Kenya. I thought it was going to be Brian out of those three.
Really?
Yeah. No, I don't think they're awful, but like, I thought they were the least like, I think if not for their chemistry, they would have been
I
worse
agree.
than the other two couples. Like I thought
Chemistry is
Christine
key,
did well.
too.
It is, and I think that's really going to pull them far, not far, but like far in the competition because they're literally dating. But I also think that fans want to see an actual couple see how they are on the show because you
Yeah.
don't really get that. Like you've had Artem
Yes.
and Nikki, but they weren't a couple until after the show.
Yeah, she was still with John
Yeah, she was.
at that time.
So when you have this couple, like there's obviously a different sense of chemistry than any other couple. Like you can't deny that. So I think people are going to want to see like that interaction and see how.
Yeah, and I think they also got the hint that like, okay, our chemistry is not going to take us the full way.
Yeah, 'cause
Like I think with
dancing-
these last two dances, they depended on it a little
Yeah.
bit, and now they're like, okay, it's good that it's there. We can't depend
It's
on
like,
it.
okay, cute, but like, let's move on.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
we've
I
gotta
think
do something
Sharna
else.
knows that too. I think she was like, these first two dances, like, let's just show everybody that we're in love and that
Yeah.
we can kiss in a dance.
It can
Yeah,
only
it
get
might
you
be
so far.
strategic.
Yeah, but I think now she knows, like, okay, we need to kick it into gear and
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Me too.
But yeah, I was very surprised Christine was in the bottom.
Yeah, me too. But I'm still pulling for Cody to win. I'm hoping, praying he can get back on the dance floor next week. Negative tests. Hopefully they'll give him like a new pro just temporarily for Britney night, which I'm excited about. I love Britney Spears. I know he loves Britney Spears. I've done Britney Spears Peloton rides with him, and they are great.
You are ready for
So
this.
Yeah, he's like,
if he
he's
misses
already
Britney
knows.
night, I will be at the door at the Dancing with the Stars lot.
And we'll be behind you.
Perfect. But who are you pulling for?
Okay, so at first I was pulling for Suni Lee,
Okay.
but I don't know. Obviously, she did great at the Olympics, and she probably is well equipped to do it, just like JoJo, because they're both dancers, and like gymnastic dancing is slightly different.
But they have technique.
Yeah, they have technique. It's just her attitude. I always pick up on the attitude.
It's a big thing for you.
It really is, because last season with Sky Jackson, she reminds me of her. Like, as a gymnast, I feel like if you went through such pressure during the Olympics, you're not supposed to like show emotion and everything.
Yeah.
And with everything happening with her team and everything that was happening with gymnastics within the Olympics, and then you're gonna show your attitude on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah,
That's
like use this as your outlet, like as an
Exactly.
escape.
Yeah.
And she's like missing school for this, so I'm like,
Yeah.
let's make it worth it, you know?
Literally.
But I think I'm gonna vote for Kenya Moore because she's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I've seen her several times. So I'm just gonna stick with that.
Okay.
Good.
What about you
All
guys?
right. I have to say JoJo Siwa again. Like, first of all, I am so entertained. I watched her dances multiple times. Like, they're just so entertaining. And it's her energy. Like, that's just who JoJo is.
Which hurt her in this
It
dance.
did hurt her in this dance. I still loved watching it. It didn't hurt the way I thought about her. But
Yeah.
again, like, because she's so good, because she's entertaining, and because I see the potential, and I know she'll take those critiques. Maybe I shouldn't say no. I'm
Hopefully.
sure.
Yeah.
She'll process.
Because I see all that in her,
Yeah.
and that she is the first same-sex partnership.
Yeah.
I really am so rooting for it.
I know. I'm really rooting for it too. I think that she does need to kind of tone her energy down just because you do need to match your partner. One thing I will say about them, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love them. But I think because it's a same-sex coupling, they're struggling to do more like together dancing than all of the other
Yeah.
duos are.
I think Carrie Ann was like, this was like a dance-off, but like in a fun way, which is good.
Yeah.
But you have to bring it together
When
at
it
some
comes
point.
to do dances like the Viennese waltz or like
Foxtrot,
yeah,
rumba.
when
Do
you
they do
need to be
Foxtrot anymore?
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
But when you need to be
They will,
close, I want to see how that works with them because the first two dances they were kind of doing a lot of separate dancing and then come together.
Yeah.
Hopefully with some extra practice,
Yeah.
comments.
Get the critiques.
I'll keep the
They'll
faith.
process it.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that she takes those critiques and fingers crossed Cody will be back in the ballroom next
Yes.
week.
Fingers crossed for sure.
The next time you see us, we're going all in on reality TV. But first, it's time for another steamy edition of Hot Topics with Rachel and Alyssa.
Hello, everyone. We are back again to spill the tea in this week's Hot Topics. I'm Rachel Diodato, and alongside with me is Alyssa Hafner. This week, we have a lot to unpack from topics such as new Netflix movies to shocking breakups But first off, let's talk about how Netflix released previews introducing all the Netflix original movies coming to us in 2022.
I'm actually so glad Netflix did this. I get excited when I read about upcoming movies. I'm like, ooh, I need to watch that, and I kind of like plan. So I really like that Netflix does that.
I mean, I think if you're anything like us, we like live on Netflix.
Oh,
I'm always
totally.
I actually
Typical college
I have a
student.
list of all the ones I'm most excited for that I just
Okay.
really want to share with you guys.
Yes.
But first off, I want to talk about the sequels.
Okay.
So, Bird Box 2.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Did you watch the first Bird Box?
Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Okay, you
I
should watch
definitely did the memes, all that. So I got the blindfolds. all
Yeah.
that.
Oh my God. This movie was so freaking amazing. It was so scary. Like, I
Really?
love scary movies, and I was actually so scared after. So I was like very shocked by that. And Sandra Bullock, she's a queen.
No, she's amazing.
Literally a woman
Amazing.
crush of all time. Her talent in that movie especially. And also the kids in that movie are so cute. So I'm excited. I know at the ending of the first Bird Box, they like found like the safe place. So I'm like,
So it has to be a sequel. Then they have to have a second
yeah,
one.
so I'm like, but like what can like happen, I guess?
True,
I guess this
okay.
maybe the safe place
That
gets
was very
invaded. I know they didn't really give us much info, so I'm really excited about that one. And then we have Murder Mystery 2 with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. The first one was hilarious. So funny. They like went on a
Wait, were they on a boat for this one?
yeah. They were on the boat. Actually, were on the boat? They were on a boat last
they on
one.
a boat?
I remember there being a boat,
Okay,
but I
maybe.
can't. Yeah.
Wait.
Wait,
Possibly.
no, wait. I think they are on a boat
Okay,
for
yes.
this one. Yes,
Yes.
they're on a cruise or
Okay,
something.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
Yeah.
I've totally seen this one then.
Uh-huh.
I love the first one. I'm a huge fan of Jennifer Aniston anyways. So anything she's in, I'm like, I
Oh my
gotta see, check
Yeah.
it out.
And I also love their duo. Like they're so funny
Yes.
together. It's gonna be good. I know it. And then Tall Girl 2. I mean, no comment.
I'm not sure what that is.
So I watched like a couple minutes of the first one, and
Oh,
I
it
was just
wasn't
like,
even, you couldn't even get through it.
like literally just like, why Netflix? Why are you even? I feel like it was getting views because it was like funny,
Yes.
funny in a
It's
bad
like
way.
one of those ones. What's the one that's really popular and they have like a third movie out? It's like a super cheesy, like.
To all the boys I love.
Yeah,
or
but
Kissing Booth.
Yes,
Kissing Booth.
That's what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like one of those ones that's like, this is like absolutely so cringe. It sucks.
Yeah, but you
I'm
still
gonna
watch
watch
it.
it.
Exactly. So I mean, I didn't even know the first one did good enough for the
Yeah,
greatest sequel,
exactly.
but whatever.
So I also heard about Kevin Hart signed like a contract with Netflix, so he's going to be coming out with a lot of originals too. And he's the one with Ryan Reynolds, some good eye candy as well. So I'm
Okay.
excited for that one. I love
Fun.
like a comedy by Kevin Hart as well.
That is good. I also know that Ryan Reynolds. I forgot what the name of the movie. He's also coming out with a Netflix original.
Okay.
He's playing, The Adam Project, where it's like about a man who travels back to the past to get help from his 13-year-old self, which I thought was really
Okay.
cool. Like, I feel like Netflix originals are usually like copies of old movies, like
Okay,
the same thing.
It's funny you say that because that reminds me of a reverse 13 going on 30. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little.
that
so.
is. It's like a little flip.
Yes.
And like less girly, I guess. But
True.
that's a good one. Okay, this one I think is going to be like a big hit for Netflix. Hustle.
Okay.
It's with Adam Sandler. LeBron James is producing it, or like
What?
producing
Yeah.
it. I didn't even know he did anything other than basketball. So
Me either.
good for
Just
him.
Stepping into the film
Shocking.
industry.
How
We
do
love
you,
that.
Like, how do you play with the Lakers and also produce a movie? I mean, go off.
Yes.
And then there's also another basketball player, Juan Hernan Gomez. I might have butchered his name. He plays for the Boston Celtics, and he's playing one of the main characters in the movie.
Oh, so getting some friends in there. Okay. I kind of like that aspect
So,
though.
I don't know how that works. I know he missed a lot of his training, so maybe
Oh.
a lot of his basketball fans aren't loving this idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Adam Sandler is supposed to be like a recruiter for
Okay.
like a national basketball team or something like that.
Oh, so it's
And
like
then
it's a movie about
basketball. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God,
that-
wait, that's so creative.
So that's cool. Yeah, like that one. Okay, this one I'm so excited for. Luckiest Girls Alive, or Luckiest Girl Alive. It's with Mila Kunis.
Okay.
It's
yes.
based in New York City. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks on this. I don't know if it's just because
Oh.
I'm from New York, so it's
True,
like
I have
my-
not, so probably, yeah.
So it's always like on my For You page, and I'm getting a lot of Friends with Benefits vibes from it.
Okay.
Because it was like based in the city. It's like a love
Yeah.
story. It's about her struggles as a woman living in the city. And I love Friends with Benefits, so I have a
I
feeling
really
I'm
like
gonna
those
love this
movies.
one.
I was gonna say anything
Yeah.
based in the city, kind of like I feel like we can kind of relate to with our generation, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I really like those
I
movies.
know. I think it's gonna be good. Okay, this one, Pinocchio.
Okay. Is it
So
like
it's like a kid's
actual
stop
Pinocchio?
motion film. So it's like not real actors. It's like
Yeah,
you know, the
an animation almost.
animation thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's supposed to be like a darker side of Pinocchio, like a darker like
that's
retelling.
very interesting for Netflix, but
yeah.
I'm excited to see how
Right?
it does.
I'm excited to see how that goes.
Because I feel like Netflix, I honestly can't even think of an animation that Netflix has.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
know.
that's odd for them,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for it.
Very odd. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other ones. Oh, and then Beverly Hills Cop 4 with Eddie Murphy. I mean, the first one's, it's original, it's a basic.
Yes.
This one's coming out. I'm excited.
So a
that's
couple
really it.
good sequels, definitely a couple good upcoming new ones too,
Yeah,
with
I'm so
Adam Sandler,
excited.
Kevin Hart, like all these. I'm live for it. I'm
Yeah.
such a comedy nerd. I love comedies.
Me too. Rom-coms all the way.
Yes. Which sequel are you most excited for?
Definitely the, I don't know. Maybe Murder Mystery. Not Murder, what is it called? Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler?
Yeah,
maybe
with
that
Jennifer
one.
Aniston and
Yeah.
Adam Sandler. Yes. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to more shocking news, Elon Musk and Grimes have broken up after 3 years together. Supposedly due to a workload, but what do you think, Rachel? What do you believe? Because there's some rumors, there's some cheating, workload, like what's up?
Okay.
What's the tea?
I hope it's over Elon Musk, his workload,
Yeah.
because the rumor about it is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know if I can say it without like tearing up because of how funny it is the first time I heard it. So rumor is that Grimes and Noah Centineo
Yes.
hooked up
Yeah,
and
we've
she
heard that.
cheated on Elon Musk. I mean, like, that's funny.
It is.
Like, that can't be real. I mean, there's no proof.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a rumor. Like, there's no way it's not.
I think it's a rumor too, personally,
Mm-hmm.
because I was reading an article that Page Six put out that says that they weren't together, but they're still closely, close quarters and stuff. So I've also heard that they were still living together, raising their son.
Yeah.
So living together, hopes of like getting back together, just
Yeah.
because if it is just a workload issue, then
Yeah.
maybe after things cool down and they're still living together
Yeah,
supposedly.
I know.
So
I do hope it's that. A whole bunch of rumors are going on. I recently heard of this. It's called like Blind Spot, I think it is. I don't know.
Yes.
It's some like LA like website, kind of similar to like Gossip Girl or something. And people post like tips like LA.
oh my God, wait, I actually kind of love that, like a real life Gossip
but they
Girl.
don't say like who it is exactly. It's just a lot of hints to who the people are. So hints led to Grimes and Noah and whatever.
I honestly don't believe that
Yeah,
one then.
I mean, if it is her, good for her. That's range. Like I think Elon Musk is in his 50s and
Yes, he
Noah's
is.
Noah's early 20s and
Yeah.
she's in her 30s. And like, talk about range. I guess. But yeah, I think it's false. There's no proof, but it
agree.
is a funny rumor.
It is,
and
especially.
I love reading it.
I think it's more funny and like not serious
Yeah.
because of how serious like Elon Musk kind of is and how like smart and like the technical side he is, and then it's like
and then you have this
like this movie star kind of
Netflix,
person.
like,
Yeah,
little
like I
star.
think it's so
Exactly.
weird.
It's very strange, and also like I wouldn't. It's so weird all their different dynamics because
Yes.
Elon Musk is like very professional, serious. You know, doesn't seem like he has much personality that we see.
I agree.
And then Grimes is like very goth and
She
vampire,
is, yeah.
which is just like weird that they're together to begin with.
And I don't know Noah, but I feel like he's very quirky.
Oh
and
my
kind
God,
of,
like
yeah.
preppy.
Yeah.
So it's just like all the different dynamics. I'm like, this is hilarious.
It is.
I just can't
I'm
even
here
believe
for it.
I know. Me too. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see how that goes. Hopefully her and Elon work
I'm
it
sure
out.
we'll hear an update
Yeah.
soon.
Yes, exactly. Moving on to some more serious news. Simone Biles spoke out about how the FBI and the U.S. gymnastic and Olympic officials failed to stop the sexual abuse that she and hundreds of other athletes suffered from Larry Nassar.
Yes. So I was so shocked when I kind of read this too, because this honestly has been going on forever, and my heart breaks for them knowing. I read somewhere that she has to go to therapy before she actually starts a job, and just like the mental abuse this has taken on her, like even dropping out of these past Tokyo Olympics,
Yeah.
like this is obviously something that affected her long term.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also read a quote from her that she kind of blames the FBI and like the whole Olympic team for enabling this to happen and like turning a blind eye. So just the fact that that happened too really sucks.
Exactly. I'm so glad that, I mean, it came out a bit after like this all went on, but I'm really glad that she came out and talked about it and kind of expressed her feelings. A lot of people were just saying that she dropped out because she had a case of like the twisties, which is kind of like upsetting because you're like degrading this girl's feelings and her mental health. Like obviously she's going through something, but I'm so proud of her just to take a step back and like go to therapy instead of focusing on gymnastics and being that person that the media wants her to be.
And as tough as it might be too, I think it's good that she kind of spoke up in the court and like faced this and say like, it's almost like a closure in a sense, because he is like, there's like 160 girls involved in this incident, which a lifetime sentence too, but I think that really gives the closure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope they're doing okay, and he's, like R. Kelly, is spending the rest of his life in jail, so maybe they can share their cell. He said that.
Yes, very true.
But yeah, my prayers go out to them and their
Yes,
families,
definitely.
and speedy recovery at some point
Yeah,
in their
same
lives.
with their mental health
and hopefully we'll be
physical.
able to see Simone in the Olympics.
Yes, that would
doing
be
her
awesome.
thing.
Wait,
Yeah.
that would be like such the
know.
great comeback story. I'm not sure she will. But that
Exactly.
would, I think that would be the ultimate like
Yeah.
kick in the face, like look at you, you're not gonna hold me down,
Yeah.
like powering through it.
And I feel like this time it would be different because last time she said she should have stopped to like focus on herself and her mental health, but she kept on going because she didn't want him to have that power over her or the 164 other girls that he abused. But now she realizes that it was for the wrong reasons, that she was kind of pushing herself to limits that she couldn't really like go to because she was hurting herself and her body. So like if she does come back in a healthy mindset, I think she'll even do things that she didn't even know she can do, or that humanly possible that we thought she can do. So
I think I'm so excited for that to see what's
too.
upcoming with that one as well.
Yeah. Well, we unpacked a lot today, but unfortunately we are out of time. Tune in next week to hear about all of the drama in Hollywood. Let's head back to Riley, Corinna, and Claire to hear about the world of reality TV.
First off, I am so proud of Simone Biles and the other gymnasts for speaking out and sharing their story. But bouncing off of Elon Musk and Grimes, it must be breakup season because Claire and Dale from The Bachelorette have broken up yet again. What is going on with them?
I don't even know. I try reading the articles and I'm just like I get whiplash from reading it. It's like, I'm like, oh.
I feel like I have to check the date. I'm like, okay, is this from the first time or the second time or the third time? Like, when?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's just like their lives have never met in the middle. And like
Yeah.
how many times are you gonna try before like don't get me wrong. The age is not like the problem. It's where you are in your phase of life.
Exactly.
Like just because you're 18 doesn't mean you're getting ready for college.
Yeah.
Like you could be going into your career. Just because you're 40 doesn't mean you don't want to go to college. Like that's not what it's about. It's just like if you are in different phases of life, that's what
Yeah.
affects it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they are. And that's why it's like, I don't know.
I mean, I never really liked them together from the get-go, for being completely honest. Like, hi, Dale.
That's why you didn't like them together.
But if we're being in all, I had to have an open mind because that's what life is about.
Yeah.
When they broke up the first time, she was going through like some emotional stuff, and then the second time, rumors had it like they just had a lot going on, different phases of
Yeah.
life, and now they like posted a picture with each other at the U.S. Open, which was pretty recent.
Yeah.
But like, no one really like more than likely they're not together. There's an inside source saying, but they haven't like officially. I mean, like, who would want to do that? Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Snapchat, hey, Instagram, we're not together anymore.
Especially when you know, it's like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
well, do we even tell them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
do we
they
let
know-
them
they
figure
know
out in a few
already.
years?
I think the hard part for her is that I think she doesn't want to be judged by Bachelor Nation based off of the fact that she's been on every single show in the Bachelor franchise and like hasn't gotten love out of it yet. So I think she didn't get anything out of The Bachelor, nothing in Paradise. She was on the winter one and got nothing from that. So now that she was the Bachelorette.
That sounded very harsh.
Yeah. And now that she's the Bachelorette, I think she's nervous to get that criticism from the Bachelor Nation about not being able to get a relationship.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is true. Like, I think it's just based off of timing. Like, everybody has different timing in their life, like you were saying. But I think that's a big reason as to why she's like trying so hard for Dale, is because she doesn't want to give up. I finally found love from the Bachelor franchise, and she doesn't want to give that up.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I can't imagine, honestly, going through the process once
Yeah.
and not getting
And
it.
then
Because,
again
first of
and
all,
again.
that's what it's made for. I mean, I'm guilty of it, but like, when you end a season without an engagement, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
And like I'm guilty of being disappointed. For the past 3 seasons, we've had no engagement up until Katie's. But it's like, so I get how that feels, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you kind of get that type of pressure when you I cannot talk today, when you sign up for a show like that.
Yeah.
So I understand where
4
she's
times.
coming from. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, she put herself in it. That's the
again
other
and
thing.
again and again. But I do remember when I was reading something about it, they were talking about kids and like,
Yeah.
again, phase of life, and not trying to be harsh, but like for women, like the older you get, the more at risk you get for like a dangerous pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, they just didn't really line up. But I do think that she is pushing for it. And we don't know what they're going through. Like, we don't know the whole story. We don't even know if they're actually broken up just because
exactly.
that's how Hollywood works. But I think that people need to be like, again, have an open mind about whatever's going on with their relationship. Like, something could happen that we don't know about and we might not ever know about.
Yeah.
But people are so quick to put the blame on her or put the blame on him, whoever they want to put the blame on.
Yeah.
Just because this like celebrity couple didn't work out. But I don't know. I mean, well wishes to the both of them. But I mean, maybe we'll see them get back together in a few months.
We probably will.
It's like a cycle.
We probably will.
Yeah.
Who knows? The Voice Blind auditions are continuing on and the teams are starting to stack up. All right, who do you guys have your eyes on so far? I know some of the performances were a little bit like, okay, what's going on this season? But some were like, best season yet. Do you guys have your eyes on anybody?
Okay, the last person to go in the most recent episode, what was her name?
I'm bad at
Oh.
names. Do you remember the song she was singing?
No.
Rocket Man. She sang Rocket Man.
Yes. And she went last. It ended with her about to pick her
Oh
coach.
my God,
And I
that
literally,
annoyed me.
I was watching it, and then I was like getting ready to come to the show. I was just watching it, getting ready, and I hear the like credits music. And I was like, wait, I missed it. I rewinded 3 times before I realized,
Yeah, they
before I
didn't show-
paid attention
No,
that they didn't show it. I was so
I
mad.
was so mad too. I have the app where you can build your own team and like play along.
Yes. I need to do that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she's great. Let me go on there, add her to my team. And I'm like looking through, I'm like, okay, where is she?
Where did
and
she
I'm like
go?
scrolling through, I'm like, refresh. Nothing showing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, did she quit? Like, did she have like a health concern? Did she get COVID? Like, what happened? I literally was on the app for 10 minutes. And I like,
I can
think
see
her
him
name-
now. Like, wait a minute.
I think her name was Katie, but I could be wrong.
I really.
I
have
think
no
it started with a
memory.
K.
Don't look at me.
I think it started with a K. I literally Googled, I was like, The Voice, and then her name.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like it says she did this. I'm like, where is she? Went back. I'm like,
Yeah.
she is not on here. I was like, I need to call somebody and be like, I need to get her on my team.
Yeah.
But then I like finished watching the episode and I was like, oh, it's because she didn't
Cliffhanger.
pick a team yet.
Yeah.
So they don't want to spoil it.
Suspense.
But I mean, I loved her. I also loved the last person to perform in episode 2.
Yes.
I think, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce her name. Jimani or Jiminy.
I think it's Jamani.
Jamani. Oh my God, the way she made POV her song.
Ariana said it was her song.
Yeah,
she
she's like, you can have it. Yeah. I was blown away just because like she didn't hit like all of these high notes and like has so much vibrato and like sing such big notes, but like the range in her voice and the way that she made that song so unique to her, but also like had the elements of POV still in it. I was like, this is such good technique and like such good vocal power.
And when you go to a singing competition or something like American Idol or The Voice or even America's Got Talent, you can really embarrass yourself if you're doing
Yeah.
the same, especially someone with like Ariana Grande. She has an amazing vocal range. She's honestly the perfect judge for this season.
Yeah.
Not only is she competing to have like a good team, she's like, I don't care about that. I care about what your life is going to be after the show, how you want to progress as a singer. So I'm glad that Germani, we're going to have to double check on her pronunciation,
yeah.
but the way she did it, she made it her own. And that's, I think, what's key. Because if you copy someone else, how are you unique from like everyone else?
Yeah. But I mean, she didn't pick Ariana, which I was a
Exactly.
little mad
was like,
about.
wait a
'cause
minute.
If you're gonna go on and sing her song and then you're not gonna pick her, but that's just my personal opinion. I think Kelly will be good for her. I think Kelly is an incredible coach. She's my favorite coach. I mean, aside from Ariana, but in past seasons, I think Kelly's such a good coach. So I think that she will be good for her. But I just don't get, like, if you go on the show, sing a song by an artist, and
And
that
don't
artist
choose-
turns for you, you don't choose
It's
them.
a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on? But it also, like, kind of makes her seem, like, powerful. Like,
That's true.
I don't know. I loved her. Was there any performance that stood out to you?
I don't remember her name, but it was in the very premiere season. It was, it was
Premiere
like
season.
The premiere the-
episode.
Can we talk today, Karina? I don't know.
First day jitters.
Yeah, I know.
That's
First
all
stage,
it is.
first stage jitters, guys. But I know her story. Maybe this will like it was at the very first episode, and she had postpartum depression with her baby, and she sang and chose Kelly. No,
Oh,
Why do I not
what song did
remember?
she
What
sing?
does she look like?
she's like she has short hair.
Was she like an not
She was
older, but like 30s?
older. Yes, on her 30s.
What-
She had on dark lipstick.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
thinking of
yes.
Katie, but she did not pick Kelly. Are you sure she picked Kelly?
I'm positive.
Oh, so then we're not talking
Yeah,
about the same
Sa-
person.
Same concept, but her story was sad, and they really get me with the little short little stories that they have.
Yeah.
And then they sing it, and there's like so much emotion in it. And then the chef's kiss. But I'm not one of the type. I'm not that type of person that can be like, I like this person that quickly because I do sing, so it's kind of like I understand where they're coming from. But I do want to applaud the young artists, like 15-year-olds, 19-year-olds, like, and most of them didn't get picked because you just don't have the maturity and the
Yeah.
vocal range.
The one 13-year-old girl did.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
she
what was
amazing.
amazing.
She was phenomenal.
And that's a lot of
Like my jaw
pressure.
was on the floor.
Yes. You're at such a young age, and probably in front of your role models, especially like Ariana
Ariana
Grande,
Grande.
being on
Yeah.
the show.
I want to say about Ariana Grande, I am obsessed with her, like as a coach, as a singer, as a person. But she is getting everybody on her team. Like everybody's picking her, which people were concerned about. Like she's somebody so big on The Voice, like everybody's gonna want to be on their team,
Yeah.
which like is a valid concern. But like she's getting so many people so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, girl, you better wait.
Yeah,
a
John
little,
was
like,
in the behind, like the very first episode, he got one person.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she had like 4.
Yeah, and I understand, like you said, I know you're a big Ariana Grande fan.
Watch what you say.
I'm
You better
being
watch
very,
it.
very strategic as to what I'm saying. But, I mean, when you have such a big platform like that, not only are you a role model, because she's climbed up the charts quickly.
Very quickly.
She has things to show, but it's like the other judges are also encouraging people to go to her too. So it's kind of like, are we really being true to picking the judges?
Yeah. I mean, I'd want her little lunchbox too.
Okay,
It's so cute.
adorable.
I'm not
so
gonna
cute.
lie. She brought that thing out. She was like, "Your healthy voice pack or something," and I was like,
tease the
"I
launch.
want it."
It's so like
Maybe
pure.
it'll be on eBay. Like,
Imagine
Yeah.
somebody like loses or she kicks them off in the
And then
battle
she's, like,
round. She's
crying
like
out,
selling the lunchbox
eBay.
on eBay.
it would go
Yeah.
for bank.
Oh yeah, it would. I think they should sell like the actual lunchbox.
They
I feel like
should.
it's-
I would buy that.
yeah, me
I
too.
would bring it here.
Yeah, that we're moving the PB.
I would bring it to
Some
class.
Team Ariana.
I'd bring it to
I'd
the
literally
My
just
class.
be like, oh, you see this? Oh,
Yeah.
Team Ariana.
Yeah.
Team Ariana. I think we're all Team Ariana,
Yeah,
right?
we
Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
go. Root for them. Tomorrow is the long-awaited season finale of Big Brother 23. After almost 100 long days, the house guests have made it to the final 3. Xavier, Azza, and Big D. Who do we have taking it all?
Xavier.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think if he doesn't, the only way he does not make it to Final 3 is if he doesn't win the final HOH, which I think is very rare. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I
Yeah.
think going up against Azza and Big D, they are 2 people who have proven themselves to not be the strongest competitors. Azza is better than Big D. Big D has not won a single thing throughout the entire competition, but he is somebody who knows how to compete physically and mentally. So I think he's really going to whip that out in the final 3 HOH competition and just take it. I don't know who he's going to take with him, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be 9-0.
Yeah.
Like there's no shot he doesn't win.
Okay, maybe because I've been in quarantine, but has this season gone by faster than normal? Like,
I think because the season is good.
yeah. that's
compared
probably
to-
why. I just feel like it's like breezed
Yeah,
by.
compared to the past 5-6 seasons where it's been like,
Very
this
slow.
is a horrific season. But
Same thing
because-
happening every year.
Yeah, but because of like the cookout and like how they were able to play the game, and now it's 3 people who were in the cookout in the final 3, like they're playing Big Brother, and I think that's like something that we've been waiting to see for so long.
I also think like since obviously we're still in a pandemic, but last season they had to like get used to the protocols
Yeah.
that they're kind of used to it now and like adapting to the normality that we have too.
Yeah, kind of bringing it back to not old school Big Brother, but like not the trashy one that we had for about 5 years, but not like
Exactly.
season 1 through 6.
It's like a revamp.
It's a new era
Like
of
some
Big
branding,
Brother.
some
Yeah,
branding.
yeah. But I think we can all agree that Xavier will win.
Yes.
I would be shocked if he doesn't. I honestly I want him to win, but I think it would be interesting with an Azah and Big D final 2, just because I think Azah played a better game than him,
Yeah.
both socially and strategically and physically. But I think there's more of a competition between the two of them than it is with Xavier and either one of them.
Yeah.
So I think that could make a more interesting final 2.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X is going to take away, like, I think 8 of the votes. I think it's going to be one he doesn't get,
Yeah,
and it's Kyland.
true. My only other thing was Brittany. I feel like might vote for Azah or Big D just because she's like BFFs with them.
Yeah, but she also tends to get hype about, like, someone playing a good game.
Yeah, she does.
She's
so
like-
I don't know.
The
She's
fan,
a
the
toss-up.
cheerleader.
Yeah. What did you
But-
think of Kylan's moment? that he
I
had?
thought it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He was awful.
Trash. Scum
Like,
of the earth.
First of all, Julie yelled at you.
Yeah.
Like, she yelled at him. When he turned around, she said, Kylan! Like, literally screamed.
Yeah.
And then he went out, and he just sat there, like, smiling, his weird smile that now makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like, I could not believe it.
I don't know if you saw that part of the episode, but he basically felt betrayed by Xavier. So when he was leaving the house and got evicted, he was like, what kind of role model are you to your nephew? Now your nephew has nobody to look up to. And like Xavier
That's a little
said,
harsh.
I know, Xavier said throughout the entire season, he was like, I'm doing this for my nephew. I want to be a good role model for my nephew. And that's how he went out. With somebody who he considered a best friend was saying,
It
okay,
sucks that your nephew's not going to have a role model
yeah,
now.
look at what you are for your nephew.
Because he's trying to win the game. Like,
Yeah.
it's Big Brother. He made a game move. And Kyland is the one who obviously doesn't understand the game if he thinks that taking X was a good idea.
Yeah.
People,
Like, are you trying to win the game, or are you trying to, like, I don't even know.
like, don't even bring family to situations
No,
like that.
that's
like,
the
no,
worst thing you could
he
do.
shared that as a friend.
Yeah.
He shared that
And
as a
confidant.
He
personal
was
story.
vulnerable and I could not stand that.
I wish someone would do that to me. But my friends, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even think about it.
Don't
do
push
it.
her.
Don't push me. Don't push my buttons.
Yeah. Well, next week we'll find out who wins. If Xavier doesn't win, I will be shocked. Coming into filming next week, I'm going to be like, we got to talk because
Yeah.
something happened that was not supposed
Yeah.
to. But I think he's taking this one home.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I hope so.
Yeah. Well, that is all the time we have tonight, but tune in next week for another episode of Point Blank, where we'll be having a specialty segment designated strictly to the Big Brother competition. We'll see you next week. Bye.